So hello again, Viv Clemens here. I'm super excited to be bringing you today a swatch of our latest collection, Desert After Dark. So we have 6 new colours and I'm going to walk you through swatching each of those, and at the end of the video or all the swatching, I have also created a quick and easy salon design for you. So I hope you enjoy. Let me walk you through these colours. Okay, so first up we have Arid, which is a beige taupe. This is a cream. It's a medium tone. The undertone colour is a yellow, so it is a creamy consistency, as I said, and you will get full coverage with each coat, as you can see. So it just glides on beautifully smooth, fully opaque, and also, if you allow a couple of seconds before you pop it in a lamp, it will self-level for you also. So as you can see with the line of light, it's starting to smooth out. And when you're happy with that, you can pop that in and cure it for the full 30 seconds. That's in the hybrid lamp. So here I'm applying the second coat, and in my application, it's a light stroking motion. You do not need to apply a great deal of pressure. The only time you'll see the bristles really spread is when I'm coming around the free edge, and in this case with the tip, the sidewalls. So again, just give it a couple of seconds to basically self-level, and you'll get that beautiful full opaque coverage. So this one here I have finished in Shine On, and I'm applying that now, and I will show you the difference. So I've created one with Shine On and one with Matte On, just so that you can see the difference in the two finishes. So just a nice even coat over the entire nail. And here is the end result. So Shine On and Matte On. Next up, we have Adobe. So Adobe is a bright rustic orange. It is also a cream, and the tone or the depth is medium. You will get full opacity with each application, so your choice as to whether you would like to, apply a second coat, but you will get full coverage with the first coat. The undertone colour is a brown yellow, which is where that rustic sort of tone comes into it. So that's coat number 1. And here is coat number 2. So obviously that's been cured in between in our hybrid for 30 seconds. Also remembering that all of our colours are HEMA-free. They're manufactured and formulated in Canada, and they are cruelty-free, vegan, and as I mentioned, self-leveling. So here I'm actually applying Shine On. And again, just making sure I've got a nice even coverage over the entire nail. And here's the end result with Shine On and Matte On. Moonlight. Moonlight is a midnight shimmer blue. It is a shimmer frost type of polish. So you'll see that there's a very soft shimmer to it. It's so pretty. This is a dark tone. Its undertone color would be blue-black. So you can see that it's quite rich and deep. Now on your first coat, you will or could find that there is the slightest bit of translucency. So it is ever so slightly translucent. By the second coat, you'll have full opacity. So if you wanted to get full opacity on the first coat, you could layer it that little bit thicker, but just be aware that 2 coats will give you complete opacity. So here is the second coat. It's been cured in between, and I'll be finishing this one also in Shine On. So just one even coat of shine on over the entire nail. Be sure to cap your free edge. And then pop it into the lamp. Here's the end result. So shine on and matte on. Mojave. So this is a slated lilac colour. Again, a cream, dark in tone and depth. The undertone colour here is a deep grey. So you'll get that, that's where you sort of get that, that slated look. Again, full coverage on each coat. And you can see I'm just using a super light touch. Cured, and here is the second coat. Just glides on so smooth. And finishing up once again with shine on. I love how these colours take the work out of it for us nail techs. When the colour just goes where it needs to go. And here's the finished result. Love it. Agave. A muted olive green. Again, a cream. This one has a medium tone. So it is a full coverage on each coat. So fully opaque on each coat. And the undercolor or undertone would be a strong yellow, and you can actually see that coming through just on this application. So cured, second coat. This color and Moonlight together look absolutely amazing, I have to say. Love the two as a combination. And finishing up with shine on. And you'll see that I've actually used those two colours in the little nail art video at the end. And for the finished result. So here we have shine on and matte on. And for our last colour swatch, we have Primrose. So Primrose is a muted dusty rose. Again, a cream. Its tone is a light tone. Undertone colour, light grey, and that's what gives you that muted kind of finish or that muted look. The translucency you'll see on the first coat just ever so slightly. By the second coat you'll have full opacity. Again, if you want full opacity on the first coat, you can actually lay it on a little bit thicker, but that's completely up to you. This is the second coat, and you're seeing, you know, that it's fully opaque on the second coat. Finishing up with shine on. And the end result. So these are our new colours. So while having a little play with the colours, I came up with a design, and I will walk you through how I created this. So I've just done a few different variations here. What I used was the number 6 design brush. This brush I use in almost every single nail design I do, or I've always got it handy. So number 6, I've got the number 2 outliner, and I've got the number 3 outliner. Now this one I've actually adapted, so it's got a little bit of glistening gold on it, but I cut this according to how thin I wanted my lines to be. So you can actually just cut the bristles at the base and do it in a circular motion. So as you're cutting, keep turning your brush so that you get a nice, well, it should be straight. It's a little bit kinky at the moment because I've got some product in it. So just to walk you through, we're going to do this one here. And for that, I used Moonlight. So just a really like solid coat. I only did one coat, but I kind of laid it on a little tiny bit thicker than I would if I was doing, you know, 2 coats on a client, for example. So just make sure you've got a nice even coverage. And when you're happy with that, pop that in and cure it for 30 seconds in your LED lamp. Okay, so before I do the design, I want to cap the entire nail in Shine On. So this will just basically protect my background colour, or my base colour. And cure it again. Okay, so that's fully cured. Now I'm going to apply X-Bond, but I'm just going to apply it in a strip down the centre of the nail. Now at this point you don't want to work too slowly, you need to work a little bit faster, because once the X-Bond is on and you apply your colour, which I'm using, what am I using, Agave? Yes I am. Still getting used to the names. I'm using Agave, so I don't want it to bleed too much. So I make sure that I'm prepared. I've got my my colour out and I've got my X-Bond ready to go and my brushes handy. So I'm just going to create an even strip of X-Bond just down the centre of the nail. And it's important that it's even, so just make sure that you've got an even coverage. And then using the number 2, I'm going to pick up some Agave and just kind of drop it into that X-Bond area, or that strip that we've created. That should do it. So now I'm just going to allow that to spread and bleed out. And just control it with, so if I see that it's running to the side, I'll just tip it a little bit to this side. But I want to make sure that I keep it fairly centered. Now it depends on how much of an effect you want to have as to how long you wait before you cure it. But before I cure this, I'm just going to tidy up just down here a little. And this is where my number 6 comes in very handy. It cuts in beautifully, so that I've got more of an even stripe down the middle. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to pop that in and cure it for a full cure of 30 seconds in our hybrid. So while I'm waiting for that to cure, I'll just run through this with you. With the number 3 brush, I'm just going to run it through. I'm using Gel Play Glistening Gold. So this is actually probably one of my favorites out of all the glitter gels that we have. It's just really beautiful to work with. So what I want to do is I want to load my brush, but I want to make sure that my brush is loaded evenly. So what you don't want to see is something like that, like a dollop on the end, because as you lay the brush down, you're going to drop that dollop on and it's going to create a thicker section. So we want a nice even application. So run your brush through and sort of twirl it until you've got a nice even load on your brush. If you've got a little bit too much, just roll it on a cleaner section. Roll it out. I think I might need a little bit more. So you can start with like a thin line, and then if you want, you can add to it. It's completely up to you. So I've got my brush loaded, and I'm going to start from the top and just kind of press that down really lightly, and then I'm kind of just simply pulling my brush back. So I'm balanced on my middle finger there, so with my pinky. Now you can see that it's starting to fade out a little bit down the bottom, so I want to add in a little bit more. Okay, and then the other side. probably left a little bit too much product there. You can see up the top it's a little bit thicker than I would have liked, so I can fix that. And there you go. Now, if there is a section that's, you know, a little bit thicker than you want, or it's uneven, or you kind of slipped or something, a little bit of prep and wipe on a lint-free pad, run your number 6 through it, and then kind of take off the excess, so dry it out a little, and then just come in and tuck in your line. Now, because you're working with the glitter, you've got to be really careful just to use the tip so that you don't spread glitter around the rest of the nail or over the rest of the nail. Because it's a little bit tacky, it'll just grip. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to pop that in, cure that for 30 seconds. Well, there you go, the finished product. The last one was finished in matte on. I would love to hear which one you prefer, matte or high shine. Let me know in the comments below. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this swatch of our latest Luxio collection, Desert After Dark. If you are looking for these colours, you can contact your local distributor. If you are looking for a local distributor, if you head over to our website, you can then click on the tab up the top that says distributors, and it will take you to a list of our distributors worldwide, so therefore you can choose the one that's closest to you. If you are using these colours, please don't forget to hashtag Luxio_ and the name of the colour. We would love to see and share where we can some of the beautiful work that we see out there, especially with this gorgeous new collection. So for now, goodbye, and I'll see you at the next swatch.